Everybody, my name's Ed. New comic book haul. Okay, it's been a while since I've been able to do a comic book haul in the middle of the week. So I guess what we do, I just want to talk about a couple of comics that I bought last week. Then I'll show you stuff that I got this week, and then I also got something in mail, which and I'll show you those. So Red Guardians of the no, as Guardians of the Galaxy #1. Colin Bunn and Matteo Loli, I don't know how to say his name. Not a great comic, but it was kind of fun. I appreciate it. It wasn't this whole drawn out thing of them getting the band together. It pretty much starts out right away with action and going forward, and the team's already on their little mission or whatever it is. So it's not a perfect comic, but it's okay for what it was, and it was kind of fun. So I'll give it a couple more issues and decide if I want to continue with it or not. Tales of the Unexpected #4. Um, you know what about this comic book? It's I'll give it to the end of the arc. It's not again. It's an okay comic book, not bad, not good. Well, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It does kind of have that sort of what do I want to say? The so-called premise of the new age of heroes is that a lot of the comics from this line or subline were going to be artist driven. That is, the artists were going to be doing most of the plot, and then the writers were going to come in and put in scripts and stuff like that, the way they used to do Marvel comics back in the day. And some of it's worked out fine, some of it maybe not so much. This is by, let's see here. I'm going to say half these names wrong. Vel Kitchett, Carrie Nord, Scott Hanna, and Steve Orlando. It does kind of have this uh, kind of sloppy, funky energy that a lot of those old 70s Marvel comics would have, where it was obvious that the creators were just kind of making it up issue to issue. Basically, we have these two characters, this guy here who's a blind magician, and this woman here who's kind of this, she's kind of the powerhouse heavy hitter who has rage issues, and she has to have fights every once in a while, just so she doesn't explode or whatever. In this issue, they run into Huntress, you know, they have a little fight, right? And decide they are better off working together. And then this guy shows up, Signal Man. Signal Man. I didn't know too much. I don't know anything about this character here. I had to look it up, but I know there's an old obscure Batman character called Signal Man, but I don't think this is supposed to be him. I think this is supposed to be, somebody else, all new, different Signal Man, I guess. Here's the evil bad guy they're trying to stop here. I read online, somebody says, dude looks like Jesse Ventura, the old wrestler from back in the day. And anyway, Signal Man is trying to, uh, they have this piece of nth metal, and he's reading it, and he's picking up all kinds of vibes about it, and of course it's going to destroy everything, and then again there's a lot of talking about what we should or shouldn't do, and then we've got monsters, and then we've got evil sorcerer guys or whatever the fuck this guy is supposed to be. So it's really crazy. It's a lot of running around and fighting and punching and yelling and misunderstandings and team ups and stuff. And at the end, we've got Hawkman's going to be showing up next issue. I probably should have put spoiler on there, but oh well. But like I said, it's just got all this kind of crazy energy going on. So there you go. It's not a perfect comic book by a long shot, but it's kind of fun in its own way. Deathstroke versus Batman #35. pretty satisfying conclusion. Basically, the whole thing of the Deathstroke Batman fight, whether or not Damian is Batman's son or he's really Deathstroke's son, and who's behind it all and why. And and yeah, I'm probably dropping it after this issue or taking a break from it. I'll probably come back to the title sometime later on, but I'm going to give it a rest, and maybe I'll come back to it in trades or something. But like I said, I'm going to give it a rest just so I can check out other comics that are out there now. Um, Other things going on with DC. Well, I haven't read the Dreaming #1 yet, so I won't talk about that. And I haven't read Last Song yet. Um, I have been buying the Bendis creator-owned comics from DC. Not that interested in his Superman thing. Um, I don't know. It's just, if I hear really great things about it a little bit later on, maybe I'll pick it up. But I thought I'd give some of these titles a shot. Pearl is well, okay. Pearl's okay. Basically, it's about this young woman who's some sort of assassin hitman type person or whatever. He's doing the art with Brian Michael Bendis doing the art with Michael Gaidos, as it says right here, from the creators of Jessica Jones. The art's not bad, but I just think it relies a little bit too heavily on Photoshop and photo reference and things like that. You can do some really good art like that, but sometimes things end up looking kind of lazy. It's bad when it turns out it looks like you just traced over a bunch of photographs. And that's kind of what this comic, that kind of what the art felt like in some places. So, not everywhere, but some places. So, story wise, it's okay. It's a setup, it's okay. Um, Comic I liked a lot better was Cover. It's basically almost nothing. How do I want to say this? It's basically a story of this guy who's a comic book artist, and he's going to get recruited by the CIA, I guess. And not a whole lot happens in this issue. You basically just get introduced to the main character, and this woman comes up to him in a comic book convention and buys his art, and then he's talking to his friend and stuff like that. We get a little bit of hints about his dad. His dad taught him all sorts of things, we imagine, and his dad may or may not be in the best of place right now. But I really, really enjoy this art. I like the art here where David Mack has really mixed up a variety of different styles, and he's really playing with just really playing with what you could do on the comic book art page. You've got these watercolor images here. You've got the pen and ink stuff. You've got the stuff that looks like comic book art. You've got stuff that looks quasi-realistic. And I think that's great. I really appreciate when people can really do interesting things with the comic book page visually. Uh, Also got Scarlet. It's kind of a political thriller. It looks like in this story, there's been some sort of, I don't know, insurrection or whatever, and Portland has been split in half. The main character was this character who led a quote-unquote revolution against the cops in the first miniseries that was put out by Marvel, and I guess this is the aftermath of that. And Yeah. She, I don't know. I don't know. The whole thing was pretty meh, and part of me finds it kind of questionable. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I'll give it at least two more issues. It's very much Brian Michael Bendis and his talking heads and deconstruction. So again, you don't get a whole lot plot wise. You get it's a lot of setup here. But like I said, we'll see how it goes. The art by Alex Maleev is good. Um, and that's it. That's really all I got to say about that. It's kind of mad, but I'll give it, like I said, two more issues. I thought this was interesting. When you look at these covers, they say Jinx World, which is Brian Michael Bendis' website, and I guess it's his little company or whatever. But you don't see the DC logo anywhere on the covers. So I wonder what kind of contract or setup he's got with DC. I would have thought if we were gonna like do some creator-owned stuff, they would put him under the Vertical umbrella, but you know, for whatever reason, it looks like they aren't doing that. Maybe he decided he didn't like the standard Vertical contracts, or maybe I don't know. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thing. No, it's just like when Alan Moore was doing like Tom Strong and Promethea and Top 10 and all those comics. He basically had signed the contract with Wildstorm Comics, that's Jim Lee's studio, when it was all still over at Image. But then Image bought out Jim Lee, and they bought Wildstorm and all the titles connected to it. And, and I do know I read somewhere that Alan Moore refused to have DC's name on the cover or ads for other DC comics on the inside. But I know that's because he had then and still has now a big grudge against DC because of Watchmen and a bunch of other stuff or whatever. But like I said, I wonder what the thinking behind this was with Brian Michael Bendis. I'm sure he doesn't have a grudge with DC right now. So let's see here. Um, okay, and I'll show you some of the comics I bought. Other comics I bought this week. So, there's just some freebies. Walking Dead. And this is, big sale coming towards the end of the month at the comic book store I go to. Okay, so what do we got here? Plastic Man number 4. Really enjoying this comic so far. Immortal Men number 5. And number 6. Jim Lee does not do the art for these two. Let's see here. The art for 5, I think it's Tyler Kirkham. Let's see here. And yeah, Tyler Kirkham here too. So that's these. House of Whispers number 1. Hawkman number 4. Hawkman, not great, but just kind of a fun romp. I have been enjoying this one. Basically, Hawkman is trying to look into his past, and he keeps running into like other versions of himself, other past lives he's led, and things like that. So it's kind of fun. Hawk Woman or Hawk Girl has not made an appearance in this comic yet, so I don't know what they're doing, with that at all. I'm sure she's got to show up eventually, but I don't even think she's been mentioned so much. She's or barely been mentioned anyway. But anyway, that's that. Let's see here. This is Catwoman #3. This is one of the variant covers. Okay, it's by Stanley Art Journal Lau. Is that how you say that? So, alrighty. Looking forward to reading this. Fantastic Four #2. Team finally gets back together. Seeds #2. And Hey Kids Comics #1 and #2. This is basically Howard Chaykin doing his take on the early days of comics. Oh, on the back cover they have kind of fake ads, right? Powerhouse from YC Comics, Yankee Comics. And then here's some horror comics from GW Publications. Haha. So that's fun. Alright. And then I got this. I bought it on a whim. I don't know anything about this comic. I just saw Warren Ellis' name on it. It's called Cemetery Beach. And so I just decided to pick it up. I think it's set in the near future. And I think you have, I don't know, some dude and some woman running around doing stuff. I have no idea. So, oh, let me show you the comic I got in the mail. I'm not sure what it is. I know I ordered some trades from Amazon, so this is one of them. So let's see here. Oh, okay. So this is a memoir called The Best We Could Do, which I guess was about this family immigrating to America and their experiences. I'm not sure when I'll get to this comic. It might be a while. But I am interested in reading it. Uh, I've seen good reviews of it. I've seen people who don't do exclusively comics, who do like the occasional graphic novel or graphic trade or whatever, talk about it and give it good reviews. And I've seen other interesting things written about it. So yeah, there we go. I've got another video, another review video that I shot, and I uploaded, but I haven't published it. I'll probably publish it on Friday or Saturday, and that is it. It's basically a review of Asterios Polyp, so by David Mazzucchelli, and all right, okay, and I guess that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. You guys have good days ahead, good times. All right, okay, see ya, bye bye.